Hey, good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? I am Desiree Hall of Real Love Ministries Live, and I am so excited for this new season of Real Love Ministries Live. We have been doing shows all month long, and I am just so elated to be able to end our first season, well, our first month with Miss Trish Phillips of could I say WEXY?
Yes, you can, because that's where the connection
CEO.
comes from.
Yes. She is the CEO, General Manager of WEXY. However, we're not going to be speaking about the radio tonight. We're going to be speaking about donating life and kidney health. She is an advocate. She is an author. And like I said before, she is a CEO. She is a woman of many hats. And I am just so excited that she is with me on tonight on Real Love Ministries Live. How you doing, Trish Phillips? Thank you so much for joining me.
Good evening, Miss Desi. Thank you for inviting me over to your show. And I want to thank you, first off, for being a fan of my radio show, my weekly kidney awareness show, and being a longtime listener of WEXY radio station here in Fort Lauderdale.
Yes. I am just so excited, Trish, for what you are doing. And let me just share with our listening audience, those that are viewing. And I just want you all to share, by the way, share this broadcast because I know that it's going to help somebody that is going through either dialysis, any type of kidney disease, kidney stones, and may be interested in knowing how can they obtain a donor or how they can be a donor. So on tonight, we're going to talk about all of that, and we're going to give you a lot of information. So if you know someone that is going through these health issues, I need you to get on the phone and tell them to log in to Facebook or YouTube, Real Love Ministries Live on YouTube. And we're just feeding through our personal page, Desiree Williams Hall or Eddie Desiree Hall, as well as Real Love Ministries and Real Love Ministries on YouTube. We want to get this information out to you. We want to get this information out to our communities because I know that it is necessary. And Trish, let me just start off by saying how we both kind of connected, right? I'm going to just give a short testimony and be transparent on the things that I've been through. And this past, I want to say since September through February, I have been hospitalized twice already. And many don't know that. They just see me all the time on Facebook posting, but I started to go through health issues with my kidneys. And this was something that just sprung up out of the blue. I have no underlying issues. I'm not diabetic or high blood pressure, hypertension, none of that type of stuff. So when I went through where I started just feeling this severe pain on my right side, I didn't know where it was coming from. And I was just telling my husband, if the pain doesn't lighten up, I'm just going to have to go to the hospital. Eventually, I ended up going to urgent care to see what was wrong. They didn't have all the equipment there, but they just suspected that I may have a kidney stone or may have kidney stones. And they transported me from urgent care to Memorial Hospital. And once I got to Memorial Hospital, they ran all the tests and the results came out. Yes, I had a kidney stone, and it was a very large kidney stone at that. The kidney stone was actually still lodged in my kidney. So what they thought, it moved around just a little bit. And I was just in severe pain to the fact that they had to give me morphine, and I think it's tramadol, to really calm the pain, to stop the pain. I stayed in there a couple of days. I found out that I had to get emergency procedure done in order to remove the kidney. To remove the stone from the kidney. But they did tell me because the kidney stone was still lodged in the kidney, that was like the safest place. So now fast forward, I had the procedure. I was doing fine, recovered well, was able to go back to work. Fast forward to February. This year, February, my husband and I, we had a full day that Saturday. I did radio that Saturday. I had a podcast. I had a full photo shoot. It was like a full-fledged day. And he was the one that was actually not feeling well that day. And I said, and he's diabetic or whatnot. He has some other underlying things going on. So I said, you haven't eaten. Let's go get something to eat. I guarantee you, Trish, when we got to the restaurant, I sat down, I just ate a little bit of the soup, and I just started feeling bad. And the more we sat there, the worse I felt. And then I just told him, I think we need to go home because I'm really not feeling the best. And it feels like I had to vomit. And so, right at the restaurant, I just got severely sick. I just started vomiting. He had to rush me home. It didn't get any better. Once I got home, it ended up we had to call rescue for me because at that point I was weak. I couldn't walk. I was just in severe pain. They ended up taking me to the hospital again. They ran tests on me, found out they didn't see anything. So I thought everything was okay. They gave me pain meds again. And then within that same week, I believe that was on a Saturday night. On Wednesday, I had to leave work because I got sick again and was rushed to the hospital. Once I got there, I went to urgent care again because I knew that I needed some type of pain meds to knock this pain off. And they suspected that I may have another kidney stone, but in the other kidney.
Right.
At first it started off in the right. Now it's on the left side. So once again, I got transported over to Memorial Hospital. They ran all the tests. I was kept at the hospital because come to find out, now they had to do another procedure because this particular stone was obstructing my flow. So they had to do something quick in order to remove the stone before it gets any worse or fall into the urethra. So for some reason, my body now, it may be age, I'm not sure, because I never experienced this before. Now it's accumulating stones for whatever reason. And that was my thing of trying to educate others in our community. From what I learned in the hospital is that a lot of minorities are dealing with kidney health, kidney disease, kidney stones, the Black and the Latinos. And I was like, man, I need to do something to educate our community on this and to let them know what to do to prevent this from happening. If they're already going through it, what they can do to help, just something proactively that we can do to stop either or prevent kidney disease, kidney stones from accumulating. And I can't think of the word right now, but it was something like calcium oxide type of stone where it's built by the amount of calcium in your body, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
But it was nothing they can tell me what I can stop eating, what I need to drink more of. They just say you just really need to stay hydrated. I just had to just continue to drink more water. I was just drinking a whole lot of cranberry juice, just a whole lot of liquids to continue to keep my kidneys flushed. So it was just so hard during that time, and still now adjusting to this happening because it flares up at any given moment. And I remember I was just riding, and I don't know, I don't know how my radio got on WXY, right? Because I usually have my Bluetooth in and feeding, the music stream. So I heard about the whole kidney disease, and I'm like, wait a minute, they're talking about kidney health here. And after I heard your testimony and your story and the different things that you're doing, I'm like, hey, I don't need to reinvent the wheel. The wheel is already invented. Let me reach out to you and get some knowledge, get some understanding. Maybe you can bring awareness on a better stance than I, to our community, to our listeners who are dealing with kidney health, kidney disease, or even thinking about being an organ donor or know someone who is in the need of an organ. So I reached out to Miss Trish Phillip. She answered back, and I know it was nobody but God, because I was like, okay, God, let me take my chance. I'm going to just jump out there and I'm going to ask. And she was receptive. And Trish, I just thank you so much for joining me on tonight, because I really want to bring awareness and education to all of our viewers and our listeners and in our communities all over the world about kidney health, about organ donation. So just tell them, before you get started on that, just tell them a little bit about yourself and what you do, Trish.
Okay, but Desi, you forgot another connection we had. Your father with one kidney.
Yes.
You left this out.
Thank you for reminding me. My father right now is living with one kidney. And I just had to think back, like, now, is this hereditary? Thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah, so he has been living over 20 plus years with one kidney. Thank God he didn't have to get a transplant or anything of that sort. And his kidney that he is living with now is functioning very well, thank God. And it has been for some years now. So Trish, we have a connection on so many different
levels,
phases and levels. And I just thank you, because you're in radio, I'm in radio. It was just so ironic when we started talking, and it just felt like we were connected instantly. Yes,
without a doubt. And like, I was grateful that you reached out to me. And for anyone who's listening, I do respond to my social media reach outs, all of the pages. It may be a little slow, but I like to take the time out to answer each comment on post and whoever slides into my direct messages. So I'm glad that you slid in and you reached out. So thanks again. A little bit about myself for everyone who's new to the show or don't know my story. I donated to my best friend of 20 plus years. Her name's Kimberly Bennett. And she was suffering with a rare condition of kidney disease that decreased her functioning. She was on dialysis 2 years, getting ready to go into her third year. And with us being already friends for several years, we had such a good time over the years till when she was sick, I realized, hey, something's going on. But at that time, I was going through things with my parents who eventually transitioned on to be with the Lord. And after that, she was still going through some things. And like you said earlier, Desi, education is important, is key, because I myself said to Kimberly, I miss our old times. I don't like that you're suffering. Is there anything that I can do? And I'm under the impression, because I did not have the knowledge or the education about any type of transplantation, organ donation, that you had to be a blood relative to donate. And she told me, no, you do not have to. You just have to be the perfect blood type or in cross match. So after I heard from her, she started me with the process, which I think we're going to get into a little bit later for those who are interested. But from there on, I've been hitting the pavement, because everything you said is key. Education, education, education. And not only before education, prevention. It is important for us to be advocates for our own health. And you hear me say all the time on my kidney awareness show that I am not a medical doctor or profession. All of the advice that I'm giving you comes from my training or my living donor or just research. I usually give out the websites where everyone can research. And I stress, follow your doctor's orders. Go by what they say, listen to them, because they are the medical professions. I'm just giving you tools. And do you know, I have had several listeners, Desi, to give me a call from their doctor's office asking,
Wow.
Miss Trish, what did you say on your show? Tell my doctor. And they would hand the phone. And a lot of their doctors, their primary care physicians say, Trish, we couldn't even get our patient, we couldn't even get such and such to come. So for that to touch my heart, that I am making an impact through radio, it is beyond. I mean, I'm getting choked up because it's very gratifying to be able to hear this. That there were people, because I stress to go out to get your yearly exams, but if you are feeling any kind of discomfort, go now. Do not wait. Go to the ER, go to the urgent care, make an appointment now. And I always tell everyone to have your doctor do those 2 simple tests. I even give them time to go get their paper and pen to write them down.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into that.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you: would you say it was only your best friend that really inspired you to become an organ donor, for one, and a kidney health advocate?
Absolutely. And like Kimberly makes it clear that I gave her a gift of life, a better quality of life. She's grateful. I'm grateful for her because if I had not donated, I'm going to admit I would be guilty and ignorant of the lack of knowledge I did not have before. And if it wasn't for her, I would not have this platform to try to improve our communities. So yes,
Wow.
she changed my life as well for the better.
Awesome. And you all are still friends? Because I know somebody's
Absolutely.
like, I wonder if they still friends.
We are extremely close. I think we're actually closer now because, believe it or not, she picked up some of my quirkiness. She picked up my sweet tooth that she never had before.
Wow.
So she has more of my ways. I'm a little bit goofy or eccentric. She's even picked up those as well.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
Let me ask you, did you have any side effects going through that process of being a donor? So let's talk about the whole process. Now,
Okay.
you made the decision to donate your kidney to your best friend. Can I ask, which kidney did you donate?
They took my left because during the testing, they do see which kidney is the best fit for her, like which veins and arteries would connect better, and they base it on function. So she is the proud owner of my left kidney.
Wow, you know what? I didn't know that. So
Yes.
they base it off what would connect better.
Yes. And
How?
they
Okay,
leave
what
the
was?
donors with the better functioning. So my right kidney functions better. So they
Wow.
gave her the left, which is still way more than what she has. So now she has a total of 3 kidneys. They don't take out for the recipients. They don't take out her born 2 kidneys. They just attach mine in the front. So a lot of people don't know that.
No
So that's something
way.
we shared. She has a total of 3 kidneys in her now.
Wait, listening audience, y'all hear that? Oh my gosh. I never knew that. I always
Yes.
thought they take out one to replace it with the other. So she's actually living with 3 kidneys. Now, I don't know if this is a dumb question, but I'm just going to go ahead and ask. Do all 3 of them work?
That's a great question. A lot of people ask this because the kidneys weren't really functioning, obviously, because someone was going through dialysis. They tend to not remove them because that would be a whole nother set of complications that's possible,
Wow.
or more surgery, longer surgery, because it's already a 4-hour procedure. So they usually just connect them together and connect those with mine. So therefore, she's functioning like she has 2 kidneys, but just off of my one. Because a lot of people also don't know, even though I have 1 kidney, my bladder actually thinks I have 2. It expands. And when you ask what are one of the side effects, I wouldn't call it a side effect. It's just a reminder, Trish, that you did a marvelous miracle thing. We tend to be in the bathroom more because you're supposed to stay hydrated, as you said before earlier.
Right.
And you need to usually drink half your body weight in ounces of water.
I problem number one for me.
Yes, and that could be one of the reasons for your kidney stones. And also with kidney stones, like I said, I'm not a medical doctor. A lot of causes of kidney stones is high calcium intake or high vitamin C, to be exact. During
Yes.
COVID, cases rose for kidney stones because a lot of people were increasing their vitamin C intake. If vitamin C is in your multivitamin and you're getting it from fruits and vegetables, a lot of people were including 1,000 milligrams or more in just a vitamin C capsule. And for African Americans, especially if you have history, family history, it can increase kidney stones. So
Wow.
during COVID time, the pandemic, kidney stones did increase.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up as well, Trish, because, and I think I shared this with you, while I was in the emergency, I think the last time, and I was asking the doctor all sorts of questions, like, how can I prevent this? This was so painful. I don't want to go through this anymore. What can I do? What am I supposed to be eating? What do I need to take out my diet? And he said, you know what? Let's Google it. He just said it just like that. Let's Google it.
Well, in his defense, maybe he was not a nephrologist and just an
No,
ER physician.
but I think he was just testing me as well. Like, let's walk this together. I'm finna tell you, I'm finna show you some things. I didn't take it negatively. So he says, so I started reading. I saw stuff like spinach, or I said vitamin C. He said, yes, stop right here on vitamin C. He said, have you been taking a whole lot of vitamin C? And I thought about it and I said, yes, since the pandemic has started, just to boost my immune system, I bought a whole bunch of vitamin C. And I've been taking maybe 1,200 milligrams of vitamin C.
Most Americans did.
Yes. Every single day, faithfully. And he said, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to cut back a lot, or maybe even take it out of your regimen on a daily basis. Take out the vitamin C. I could have fell out the bed. I could not believe it. He says, yes, because of the calcium intake. This may be one of the reasons. He said, we can't pinpoint it. I can't tell you directly of why you're having it, but let's start with the vitamin C. I was like, wow. So what you're saying is definitely true, because the doctor did tell me that as well.
Yes. It's not just you. The cases of kidney stones rose tremendously during the pandemic.
Wow.
You see on the news, increase your echinacea, increase your vitamin C. And you can get vitamin C naturally from leafy greens. That's a great supplement, which is for vitamin C, is leafy greens. And of course, there's fruit. So there's many ways. And if it's in your multivitamin, it's not necessary to add that much.
Wow. So that was definitely an eye opener for me. And I thank you from also sharing that once more. Now, just take us through that process of, you decided to be an organ donor and to donate your organs to your best friend. Now, as you are doing this, what is the process? Now, I decided to be a donor. I'm letting the doctors know. They test me. I come back a match. Now it's time to rock and roll. How was that feeling? Were you nervous? Were you afraid? Were you like, okay, suppose my other kidney go bad? You know, I would just think that so many things are going through and went through your mind. And when I was sharing just a little bit of the show to my family and my friends around, I was like, hey, watch, I got a great story. A young lady's going to come on and say how she donated one of her kidneys. And it was like, wow, man, that's real selfless, you know, for her to think of somebody else. This is not a mom or dad or a family member. This is a friend, a best friend, not no
Right.
blood relative, nothing. So it was like that was so thoughtful of her to do this. Suppose, her other kidney go bad. My sister even told me, she was like, I'm gonna have to think this over twice if I had to give it up, but honestly, it's not just her. It could be so many others that are thinking the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, what was that process like once you decided to donate your kidney to your best friend, and the whole process and the procedures and the things you had to go through, and just taking in so much information that you didn't know?
Well, first of all, Desi, I must say it was a no-brainer for me because I was close to her. And I'm like, okay, there's two. God gave me two. And if I can bless someone else with a better quality of life or a second chance at life, why wouldn't I? And I just thought, just put yourself in her shoes. Would I want her to give me a kidney, or would I want a family member? So I'm absolutely yes. And you have to walk out on faith. At that time, it was no question that it was the right thing to do. I even got signs from my parents in heaven that it was right. And of course, my sisters, with us having a friendship for that many years, they were already familiar and have met Kimberly, of course. So I just said, sissies, you guys better stay healthy because I'm doing this, I'm donating. There's not another one I could give. But to answer your question, for those of you who are worried as a living kidney donor, what will happen if you need another one in the future? There is a such thing as a transplantation list, and it's ran by a point system. Now, because you are a living kidney donor, you do have higher quality, I won't say quality, priority is, I guess, would be the better word. If a kidney is a match for you, it's a point system. So, but of course, obviously, if there's someone in need above you that has a better chance or a better match for that particular organ that they're waiting for or that you need, of course, they would get it first. But you won't get hung out to dry if everyone's worried, what am I going to, if I need a kidney in the future? Because you don't look at it that way. Because the secret I won't say the secret, one of the biggest keys about becoming a living donor is you are taken through multiple tests. And I'm not talking about lab work where they're taking, I want to say one of my days, they took at least 30 valves of blood in one sitting. So besides the blood, you are ran through strenuous evaluation tests, not even also psychological. You get CT scans, and I'm talking with the dye. You get so many tests done, and it is a all-day process at a hospital. It's basically 3 days, if you want to be technical, of strenuous tests. So they're not going to let you donate if you're not healthy enough. So the test they're giving you is to show if you're able to survive or live a better quality of life yourself once you have one kidney. So a lot of people don't know this, and it's a blessing in disguise, Desi, because you get so many tests, and there are living kidney donors that go through the process and unfortunately aren't able to donate because they had underlying health issues that they did not know about. And I mean, they could find cancer in this, it could be detected. There could be tumors. So it's a beneficial thing to go through, and it's a process to make sure you are able to function and live a quality life. And they tell you through the process things you should do and should not do once you have a kidney, to keep your one kidney life better quality. So first of all, they want you to stay healthy. And little things, of course, watch our vitamin C intake. That is important. You said what were one of the side effects? I won't call it a side effect, but there's one thing that I had to give up that I kind of miss. NSAIDs. ibuprofen, Aleve, um, Advil, any anti-inflammatory med, over-the-counter med, because of this can break down and wear on your remaining organ. So with me being an athlete prior, I was a firefighter at a time for a
Wow.
little bit, firefighter EMT, and I was an advocate, a diehard runner. I love doing 5Ks. That was my thing. So of course I had the muscle aches. But there's ways to work around that because they do make a muscle ache for Tylenol. So this is good. And there's things as sauna, stretching, just staying healthy and fit. So you don't really miss it. And I feel like it was worth the trade because Kimberly is thriving.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
That's amazing. I'm just reading the comments. Let me just share some. Sandra D said, Trish, your act of kindness is a true testament. And a lot of people just like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I think
Oh,
Josie is saying how amazing you are. You just have so many comments. You are a blessing. Keep
oh,
spreading your
thanks
message.
everyone.
And I know that this is touching so many people's lives, and you're sharing so much knowledge that a lot of us probably never heard of. And just going through that process, it had to be love. It had to be a sense of care for someone else. Because listen, that whole 30, how many, like 30 rounds of blood, and I know my veins a little, it'll make you like, man, forget this, but it had to be a love, a passion, or a drive. What was that? That was, I can't describe it no other way but love.
Right. It really was. And I'm not skirmish for blood, but it just was mind blowing how many valves they had to take in one sitting. And even when we went back for pre op, because everything was done in Tampa. So we actually had to move to Tampa General, to Tampa because that's where the transplant was performed. So the day of pre op, we have my recipient Kimberly just chilling off in the cut. Do you hear me, Desi? While I'm around here like I'm like a vampire is on me and laughing. And I'm like, okay, Kimberly, they're not. They said, wait, don't worry, because once that kidney is in her, she's gonna wish she didn't laugh. So we switched places. She has all of the vampires getting her now. So
Wow.
our transplant was performed in Tampa, and I want to say a special hello if my caregiver is listening, Lorraine Gardner, because people don't realize caregivers are important. And this is another thing when you're going through the process, they don't just let you have a transplant and say, oh, well, my boyfriend is going to take me or my sisters are coming. You have to show proof you have a caregiver. And because we were
Wow.
moving away to Tampa for a month, my friend Lorraine had to sign a sworn affidavit and move there with me. And I thank God, Kimberly and I both, we realized that if she didn't, because my sisters couldn't come, oh, and I was high risk of them saying no to my transplant because I don't have a significant other. I don't have any living parents, and my sisters, they live over 500 miles away, and they worked and could not move away for a month. But by the grace of God, my friend Lorraine stepped up and signed the affidavit. And Kimberly and I were both grateful because the transplant would not have happened without her. And caregivers don't get enough credit because
Yes.
boy, did I put it on her. Those first 2 weeks, those are rough. And like every living kidney donor are different.
Hmm.
Some people heal quickly, and with me not having any children, I haven't really had any major pain, I guess you would say. So I went through it my first 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks to feel myself. And here's Kimberly. The minute she got my kidney, it started producing urine. She turned into the bionic woman. When
Wow.
we walked over, when Lorraine escorted me to to Kimberly's apartment, a couple of buildings down, she's up speed walking. She come to the door and like, oh, I got something on the stove. And I swore she took over. And I was like, what? What is going on here? And so I'm just grateful that everything worked out well. My surgeon there, transplant surgeon, said my kidney started working immediately in her.
Amazing.
Yes.
Listen, it just seems to me that God orchestrated this so
Absolutely.
well, so well that it wasn't Kimberly's time. It was meant for her to get this kidney.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. And Lorraine Gardner is on, and
Oh.
she just your caregiver is here listening, and she commented, giving someone a better quality of life, and in some cases, actual life. Because I
Oh.
know that there are some that they're at their deathbed. They're just
Yes.
sitting day by day wondering, is today the day that I'm going to leave this earth? Is
Mm-hmm.
today the day a organ is going to come for me? And I'm just so grateful, Trish. I am so
Mm-hmm.
touched by your story and what you did for Kimberly, your
Yes.
best friend. That is just so amazing. And just
Mm-hmm.
the things that you had to go through. Because look, I don't had babies. I don't had surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, I know that pain is horrendous. And I
Yes.
remember having my hysterectomy, and the lady in the bed next to me, and in the same room, but in the other bed, she was just on her phone talking, and we had our surgery the same day. And I'm like here in so much pain, like,
Yes.
how is
Everybody's
she
different.
coming going? Yeah, and look at
Mm-hmm.
me. So I understand how you feel when you went down there and she's just bouncing around, cooking, and here you go trying to
Yes.
just barely make it, to get
But I
well.
was warned this, and most all of the recipients that I know, they have the same power story, and
Wow,
the donor the same. And like you said earlier, there's so many people waiting on this life-saving organ. I don't think people realize what made me also want to be more compassionate about this. There's in the state of Florida, there's over 5,700, 6,000 people waiting daily for a life-saving organ. But get this now, Desi, in America together, there's over 100,000 waiting daily for a
wow.
life-saving organ transplant. So the numbers are up there. It's very alarming, very
Wow.
alarming.
Wow. And you know what? Let's get into that because you donated your organ,
Mhm.
and you were educated about by your journey on what you went through with Kimberly, about kidney health. Please tell them about your organization. I believe it's MMDF, Multicultural Miracle Donor
Mhm.
Foundation. Tell us about that, please.
Thank you for asking. Actually, being in the donor world, I noticed it was less people that looked like me. So I said, there's something that needs to be done. And I was years ago, because this is 5.5 years for us. So maybe my second year, I was on another talk show and they said to me, oh, wow, you're like a rare unicorn. You're a black unicorn. They're rare. And not only did you become a living donor, you donated to someone that wasn't a family member, like you mentioned
Right.
earlier. So they said, you're like a black unicorn. So that stuck with me. And in the back of my head, I came up with a mascot named Moda. Moda, the Marvelous Unicorn, which stands for Minority Organ Donor Awareness. She's the mascot of Multicultural Miracle Donor Foundation. And
Wow.
what she is, I have dreams for her to become a household mascot to change the way transplantation is looked at in the African American multicultural communities, because the numbers are alarming and we should not be as rare. As you know, we are more prone to be on dialysis because the
Yes.
leading causes of kidney failure runs rampant in the African American communities. That would be
Yes.
number one, diabetes. Number two, high blood pressure,
Pressure.
hypertension. And
Yes.
because they run rapid in our race, this sends the numbers up for how many of us are on dialysis. But get this, Desi, what was so alarming, we are high on the dialysis list, but then we are the least to donate. So I
Wow.
said, I need to start a foundation where I can educate, assist, answer questions, and just pound the pavement and help change these numbers. And I am a 501c3 organization. So if anyone does donate to Multicultural Miracle Donor Foundation, MMDF, will keep it that way, they will be able to get it as a tax write-off. And all proceeds go to educate and change things. I assist living donors, help you through the process. And also we have a section that help deceased donors, because we as a race, we don't even donate when we're deceased. Everyone always
Wow.
say, oh, I want to have an open casket. That's one of the biggest myths. I want to have an open casket, but if I donate my organs, you can't. That is a myth. No,
Exactly.
absolutely not. That is not true. You could still have an open casket. Then I'm sure you hear Desi all the time about the religion. It's against my religion.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
religions in the U.S. practice and is okay with it. So
Hmm.
that's another myth. And you know, the biggest one I have heard over the years is I don't want it on my driver's license because they will let me die.
Yes.
People. This is one of the biggest things MMDF is going to debunk in the myth department, because this is absolutely not true. First of all, the paramedics usually don't even see your driver's license. Think about it. And now, to stop all of this thinking, you don't even have to put it on your driver's license that you are
Exactly.
a kidney donor or organ donor, I should say. But the biggest thing is, I want everyone who's out there listening, who's thinking that I don't want to become a living donor because they're going to let me die. People, it's a totally different medical transplant team that's not the same as the ER. And first of all, you have to have a quality of life. You need to make sure your organs are viable. They only take organs from brain death patients, deceased brain death. It's not that they're going to let you die. It does not work that way. Not only am I a living donor, I'm also an organ donor when I'm deceased. I've spoken to my family. They know. I just pray every day that God takes me in a way where I am able to be an organ donor when I pass. Because even though you signed up to be an organ donor, if you don't go in a way where your organs are still viable and you're just brain deaf, you're unfortunately not able to donate. I know plenty. I have a dear friend of mine who's a recipient. Her sister passed away with COVID, who was an organ donor. But because of the manner and fashion of the way she passed on, sadly, she was not able to donate. So
Wow.
please get that out. This is the biggest one for minorities, Desi. The biggest one
Yes.
about the driver's
Yes.
license.
Yes. I hear it all the time. I definitely
Yes.
hear it all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
and I was told medical professionals, they're trained to save lives, not
Yes,
to kill you.
absolutely.
To save your life.
Absolutely.
That's their number one agenda, to save your life. Whatever they can do to save your life first. Okay, so
Correct.
that's definitely a myth. And listen, I want you all to support MMDF Foundation, or did I say it right?
Yes.
Multicultural Miracle Donor Foundation. Please, I'm going to put it in the bio. I don't think I have it up, but I'm going to put it in the bio. And I want you all to please reach out to Trish. Trish, let's throw this in here. Let's throw this plug in here right now of
Yes.
how they can stay connected. What they're hearing is like, wow, this is great information. These are things that I didn't know about. You may have some people right now that was knocking organ donor, that they didn't see no interest. They didn't even want to think about it, because a lot of people in our culture, they don't want to think about death. They don't want to think about bad things happening or anything of that sort. It's not that we're speaking it, but you want to prepare. You want to say what you want to happen if this was to happen,
Right.
Or if you have a family member or even a friend like you, Trish, and you want to be that person to help give life.
Yes.
I want her or him to have another opportunity or better life where they don't have to do dialysis or any of those things. Tell them how they can stay connected to you.
Okay. Before I get into this connecting with myself and MMDF, I just want anyone out there who's listening and have any question about organ donation, whether it's living or when you're deceased, I myself am here to help you. I have a board of directors where we all have different knowledges in different areas, and we are here to assist you. You can reach out to me also through my personal Facebook page like Desi did. But at this moment, I want everyone who's listening to take a deep breath. Do it all, everyone. Close your eyes if you have to. Think about it. Whether you become a living donor or a deceased organ donation, if you yourself personally was in the need of an organ, kidney, or a liver transplant, or even when someone's deceased and can donate any other organ, say to yourself, would you want someone to reach out to you or your family member and save your life or give you a possible better quality of life? Think about that. Don't answer. You don't have to answer out loud. Think in your head. Just think to yourself, if you are in need of any organ, wouldn't you want someone to help and do these things for you? One deceased organ donor can save up to not one life, not two, not three, not four, but 8. That is 8 people. And there are eye transplants where it can save up to 2 lives. And guess what, everyone? Tissue donation. That could save over 30 people lives.
Yes.
So just think about it. There's burn victims. There's all kinds of victims that you would want to give someone a better quality of life. And there are living liver donors as well, where you can donate a partial portion of your lower lobe. So you can all open your eyes now. I wanted you to do that exercise because it's important for you to realize how important it is for people waiting for life-saving transplant. Like I said, in Florida, there's over 5,700 daily, and across the USA, it is over 100,000 waiting daily. Those numbers are alarming. So with that being said, MMDF, myself, we as a team are here to help you and assist you and educate you if you have questions about becoming a living donor or just registering to be or become an organ donor. We are here. That's what we are here for. And if this broadcast has touched you in any way possible, I, myself, and Multicultural Miracle Donor Foundation would love for you to sow a seed, large or small. It could be $1, it could be $1 million. We don't turn down anything, even 1 cent, 1 penny, the brown one. We even accept those because 100% of the proceeds go towards our mission. And you're asking how? Well, you can reach us at mmdffoundation.org. That's mmfoundation.org, or Trish Phillips from Facebook, social media, and Multicultural Miracle Donor also has a Facebook page. We accept checks, cash, Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, in person for South Florida people. We
Do
accept
you have a
all
Cash
money.
App?
Yes, we have Cash App. We have them all. And
Okay.
everything is tax deductible, 501c3 legally.
Awesome. Awesome. And I will have all of that in the bio as well. So for those that want to support, want to donate, want to stay connected to Trish, we will have that information as well in the bio. Trish, thank you so much. I have a recipient actually that's on. I don't know if you know them, but the name is Jean Sim or Jean Syme, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
she's from New Jersey.
She said,
Yes.
it's true. When I had my transplant, I was walking within 8 hours, and my donor did take longer to heal. The minute I woke up from my surgery, I immediately felt a new life. So
Yes.
listen, everybody, this is necessary. I want you to hear it, and I don't want you to take it lightly, because let me tell you the pain that I felt going through twice, right? Like within 3 months apart. It was like it jumped out of one kidney into the other. It was very, very painful. And now I am trying to take better measures on drinking more water, staying more hydrated, drinking the coconut water, the lemon water, whatever I can do, Trish, to stay hydrated and to keep my kidneys hydrated, because the pain that I felt was unbearable. So I can just only imagine those that are on dialysis or have any other kidney failing diseases. This is necessary for you all to listen. And also, you're big on going to the doctor, getting checked out. And I want you to go a little bit more into that, because you mentioned it at the beginning. But what are the tests are they supposed to ask the doctors for? What are they supposed to be looking for? You know, because they're listening, but it's like, okay, when I go to the doctor, now what? What are these people calling and say, Trish, what did you say on the broadcast again? Give us the 411. So let everybody know, what should they be looking for? What should they ask their physicians for?
Yes. Like I always tell everyone, if they are not feeling well, immediately go to the doctor or the emergency room for that matter. But those two simple tests, everyone, I know they're tired of hearing it in Fort Lauderdale. The ACR, those three alphabets, that's the urine test. And that detects and tells how much protein is in your urine, and it does a complete measure. So that's test number one, everyone, ACR. And the second test is for your blood, and that is the GFR. And those are the two important tests. And especially if you have the risk factors, which is diabetes, high blood pressure, and what's also important, if you are the age 60 and over. Now, we know it doesn't have kidney disease or chronic diseases, it doesn't discriminate. But if you are having symptoms, especially if you're over 60, it's important to get into your doctor if you're having these, because these tests will definitely measure your kidney function.
Wow.
So that's ACR for your urine and GFR for your blood.
So everybody got that. ACR for your urine and GFR for your blood.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what you need to go to the doctor and ask, what is my ACR? Can you test my ACR? And that's the urine test. What is my GFR? That's going to be the blood work to detect if there's anything. Now, I was told that there is sometimes you won't even feel any symptoms. Is that true?
Zero. Absolutely, it's true. It's a
because I was fine. I was absolutely fine. I was up doing what I needed to do with no problem, and all of a sudden, just like that, I just instantly got sick.
Very silent. Wow. So I recommend everyone having this done annually. even if you have no symptoms. And my recipient, Kimberly, she will tell you she had symptoms, but she was in denial. She chalked it up, oh, maybe because she's been working on her, standing on her feet all day, or hadn't eaten or drunk enough water. She ignored it for a while. She will tell you this. So we cannot be denial. Be your best health advocate. Go
Right.
to the doctor. And you know how it is for us, especially men, or if you're listening, you have to go for these checkups. They are very important.
Exactly. I'm sorry. I was just reading. Jean said something else. She said, especially if you were on dialysis prior to surgery, as odds are you will feel better immediately after surgery.
Okay.
Yes. I'm just trying to really go through
The
these.
comments.
Yeah, they were asking what are some of the symptoms. And as for me, when once I started feeling, it was in my lower back. It wasn't even like
Mm-hmm.
on my side where you think kidneys, like how you see the anatomy of where your kidneys are. It was actually in my back, my
It would be
lower
in the
back.
back. Yes, it would be in
So
the
they
back or
call
your
it your
flanks.
Yes, I was just going to say they call it your left or right flank.
Yes.
And I was like, what is a flank? And it was like, no, that's just a term that we use for,
Mm-hmm.
your kidney. Because at
Mm-hmm.
first, the last time that I got sick, you remember I told you that I ate a little bit of the soup, and it was a seafood clam chowder soup. So
Mm-hmm.
when rescue came, they were going back and forth in reference to, did she get food poisoning,
Right.
or do you think it's her kidney? And I was like, no, it's not my stomach. And the guy was like, no, she's not holding her stomach at all. It's it's in her back, the
Right.
lower back. I think it's her flank. And I told them previously that I had the same issue back in September.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I just started feeling like a little stench. That was the first time. And I was like, oh, what is this, discomfort? Still not thinking anything. And I was just going on with my daily routine until it got completely unbearable.
Right.
And that's why I knew that something definitely
Mm-hmm.
was wrong. But the second time, no symptoms, no nothing. I didn't feel anything. I was doing fine. And I just instantly got sick. So I know that it can just sneak up on you. And which kind of puts me, I said, I'm not fearful, but any little ache, it's like, okay, oh
Yes.
Lord,
Yes.
is this thing coming back? Because you don't want it to
Mm-hmm.
come back because it's so painful. It's so painful. So once again, Trish, do me a favor. We're going to get ready to end the show. I thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much, first
Thank
of all,
you.
because you gave so much information, so much knowledge. Thank you for being transparent, on just sharing your story. Thank you for the heart that God is giving you. My God, the heart to love and kindness. You rarely meet people, that would just forget about them and just see about somebody else. And I just really thank you for that, because if it didn't encourage nobody else, it definitely encouraged me to consider. And I already spoke to my family. If I die,
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted them to make the decision, but I told them I don't mind being an organ donor. I
Right.
don't mind donating my organs,
Mm-hmm.
if it's going to help somebody else. And I know that it will help somebody else. Can you just please give us your contact information again?
Yes. You can reach out to me on social media, Trish Phillips. I'm on all platforms, and Multicultural Miracle Donor Foundation page. And you can always go to the website, which is mmdffoundation.org. It is MMDFOUNDATION.org. I think I said it slow enough.
Okay, you said MMDF Foundation.
Yes,
Well,
it's a
MMD
F.
MMDFOUNDATION.org.
Correct.
Okay, I'm just gonna put this definitely at the bottom.
Thank you so much, Desi.
Yes. So I hope I have it right. Is that
Perfect.
correct?
Yes, this is
Awesome.
correct.
Awesome. And also in the bio, what I would do is add all your information for those that want to donate, sow a seed, be a part of any event. Do you have any events, projects? Oh, your book, the book.
Yes.
Please share all of that information. We want to know all things Trish, right?
I had the wonderful honor to be part of a book called Because of Organ Donation. I'm one of 25 authors. The book was produced by Brenda Cortez, and I got a chance to tell my story in a chapter. So this
Wow.
book, I still have some, and we're up to the 1 year anniversary. So they are on sale for $20 plus shipping, which shipping would be $4. But if you're local, it's just a flat $20. That information is also on my website. Everything's under the link tree. So if you have questions, you know to look out for me. And each book is not just donors, it's also filled with Jean Sign, who's attending tonight. She's one of the marvelous authors. So it's also recipients, living donors, caregivers. Everyone is telling this amazing story. And when I'm speaking of other stories in this book, we have someone by the name of George Franklin who has the oldest kidney transplant. He's going on 46 years now. And
Wow.
his is from a deceased donor. So people say if we get a deceased donor, it doesn't last. That's untrue. Then we have Miss Shirley Scott Brill, who has her own foundation out of Jacksonville. She's a double lung transplant recipient. She
Wow.
runs EMAT that helps with minorities. So it's the three of us in there out of the 25, and you can hear it from all sides where for the minorities that's listening, you could see all things are possible through Christ Jesus himself. So definitely pick the book up. You can order it directly from me as well.
Let me ask you. I don't think we spoke about this. How does the recipient and their families feel? Do they ever meet?
Okay, we're
How
gonna.
does that work? Because I know that sometimes when people donate, they want it
Yes,
anonymous, and they don't want to meet. But then you
this is
have
called
those that just want to say thank you or want to be attached because
right.
she has my son's eyes, or
Yes,
she has
or
my
the heart.
husband's heart. That type of thing. Let's talk a little bit about that before we go.
Okay, that's called non-directed donation. Like, because I know Kimberly, that was directed. But the non-directed donation, they're usually formed through chains of events where someone may step up and they're led from this show and they just want to become a living donor, but they don't know anyone to donate to. So they're paired through a chain, or say someone wanted to go with their husband to donate their kidney, but they're not a match to their husband. So they're
Mhm.
paired up in a chain program. And it's true, there are some recipients that don't want to meet their donors, but I don't say it's because they're overwhelmed. Usually transplant centers won't allow the connection till at least after a year when it's a deceased donor, because you need the grieving time. And some
Right.
still to this day, it's a little bit too hard for them to accept it. And then we
Mhm.
do have living recipients that receive from living donors, and they just feel overwhelmed or not so worthy that this stranger wanted to give me one of their organs and I don't know them.
Wow.
So they're hesitant. So that does happen. But if most of the living donors I know who don't know their donor, they do send out letters to meet around Christmas holiday times.
Right.
They send
Right.
out once a year, and hopefully one day they will get a response back. But because we
Wow.
do this not for notoriety or to become famous or heroes, you do it because you want to, it usually don't bother us. Like if Kimberly never talked about it, I will be fine because I didn't do it for her to brag or treat me anything special. We do it because we want to do it. And like I told everyone, you would want someone to do it for you.
Do it for you.
Yes.
Amazing. I have another quick question because you reminded me when you said this. So say for instance, I wanted to donate an organ to my husband and we're not a match. Can I get on the list to actually donate to someone else? Or could I just, what is it, an automatic feed? Or could I say, I just want to donate to a family member and not to anyone else? How does that work?
Well, it's up to the living donor. That's the person who wants to be a donor, because no one's coercing you or pressuring you to donate. So if by chance, say you want to donate to your husband and you are not a match, your transplant center of choice will go through a national kidney registry. And they have a program called it's like a chain. And they would match you up with someone else in the system where you're giving maybe to the person who's a match for your husband. It's like a link, a chain, and those are set off. It could be up to 50 people at one time with this chain. It's a domino effect. So if someone is not a match, they would definitely be part of a chain program through the National Kidney Registry at that transplant center. And if you want to give to your loved one or friend like I did and you're a match, then Kimberly just got mine directly.
Wow. And okay, one more question, because this is good. At what point, so now, I done went through the blood work and everything. And what was I going to ask? At what point would they tell me if I'm a match or not?
Okay.
Or what is that cutoff,
Well, because it's a long process. Before they even start testing you, you have just a simple kit that comes in the mail. And those are like just 4 blood vials that you would do locally from Quest or LabCorp. And if this is a match, then you move on to the next steps. And the next step would be at the hospital, where you have those days of all of the strenuous testing, from the CAT scan, from all of the blood work, because not only do you have to be a blood type match, you also have to be a cross match. They cross match you with the antibodies, the tissues, everything have to be a perfect match. And they have to make sure, like I said, where everyone's worried about, can they survive or live a quality life with just one kidney? They do all of these tests to make sure you as the donor can survive in the future with kidneys, with just the one. So the tests are very strenuous. You even go through psychological evals too.
Wow. Okay, so the kit that they send you at home, I don't know if this is a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
It's urine, correct? It's 4 valves for urine?
No, I didn't even touch on the urine. There are 4 blood vials that you take to LabCorp or Quest. Now, with the urine, that's a whole different elephant, because I myself, this is where the obstacles came in with Kimberly and I. And I was so discouraged, and I wouldn't even let her participate with me with the actual testing, because she would stress me out and make me nervous. Because if I was told no, I couldn't move to the next step, I think it would have crushed her. She said it wouldn't have, but it would have crushed me.
Right.
But there's a 24-hour urine collection that's after the blood work. And this is where you have to collect your urine for 24 hours.
Wow.
And store it. So most people have to do it only once. I had to do it 5 times, but I didn't give up, because I had no idea that my creatinine would be thrown off from, I was a runner then. So that throws off your level for some people, not everyone. One time it was not stored properly in the refrigerator. One time I had supplements that I didn't know. I had to stop taking my vitamins. And twice it was from the working out. And then one time for women, the menstrual cycle was the issue. I didn't know that collected traces in the urine. So that goes, now this is rare. The average potential donor usually have to only do it one time, no more than two, but mine was a whopping 5.
Wow. Wow. This is a lot of information.
Yes.
And I don't want to hold you all, even if we have to come back on at another time. I
Right.
wanted to do this, number one, because of what I experienced and what I'm experiencing right now. And number two, this is organ donation month.
Yes.
So we're just trying to get as many organ donors out there to help and to be a superhero to someone else, to save a life, to help someone live a better life, a better quality life. That's why I'm wearing the lime green and blue for organ donor. And Trish, thank you so much. We wanted to bring awareness and education also about kidney health, especially in the minority community.
Absolutely.
And we just appreciate you so much for what you're doing, your knowledge, and just being free to share with us. And we just want to say thank you. We're going to try to work it out maybe next time. I don't know.
Yes.
To bring on a recipient.
August.
Okay.
National Minority Donor Month.
Awesome. August. So let's set something up from for August, and maybe we can bring on some recipients and some doctors, and just really just educate even more, because this was a lot.
Board on MMDF board.
Yes, thank you. I'm excited. Let's do it. Let's do it. Because this is so necessary. This is so necessary, because even in the minorities, it's just a drag trying to let them go to the doctor, making them go to the doctor, our men, even women, because they're afraid of what they're going to hear. And then by the time they hear it, it's already too late. Listen, take care of your health. Get checked out. Okay. And a lot of times in the Christian world, it's like, oh, I don't need to go to no doctor. I got faith. But God placed the doctors here for a reason. The physicians were back in the Bible days. Please take care of yourself. Love yourself enough. Love the ones that God placed around you that is concerned about you. That if early detection is the best, just like Trish said, there are no symptoms. I didn't have any symptoms. I was fine. And I was so shocked when they told me that I had kidney stones. And, another thing I wanted to add, when I started to do my research and ask questions, come to find out, my uncles, they suffer from kidney stone and kidney issues. Like I said, my father right now is living with one kidney. So you just never know. It may be hereditary. It may run down the line, but you got to get checked out. You got to research these things. Don't be afraid to know what's going on with your body. Pay it attention. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. And once again, Trish, any last words that you would like to leave our viewers?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you again for allowing me to sit on your throne, Queen, your platform. I'm really honored to be here. I just wanted to say a special hello to Kimberly Bennett, my recipient, of course, Lorraine Gardner, my caregiver, all of my donor squad. I'm sure Jean Syme is still on here. But I also wanted to give a special thank you to my MMDF board and Beacon Foresight Group. Beacon Foresight Group is an agency or organization who specializes in helping you start up your foundation. And they have believed in me and pushed me. I would not be as far as I am. I had another transplant hero by the name of Phillip, who I see as a little brother, pushed me towards them. So I'd like to give all of those people thank you and credit, because they have been my biggest support system. And if I missed anyone, as you know, I cannot forget about the Jacksons, Darcy Jackson Roofing and Waterproofing, because they are my local sponsors here on the radio station, and they presented it to me because they have family members who've been on dialysis. And because he was a client, the largest African-American roofing company here, they said, well, why don't you, we know you just donated. Why don't you come on the radio and talk about it? And I was like, well, just because I work at Wexy, I can't have a free show. It has to be paid for. So they've been sponsoring me since
Wow.
2018.
My God. That's
2008,
awesome.
and they have been in my corner, and they have funded me tremendously. So I wouldn't be this far either without them. And I'm sure everyone is grateful how far I've come. And I just want to thank you again. And I look forward to coming back in August with my board. Because
Yes,
like I
yes,
said, there's
let's set it
transplant
up. Let's definitely
recipients.
set it up.
Yes.
Is there any other events that you may be having within that time frame that you would like everybody to know about? Anything that we could be a part of? Anything you could think of? I don't want to leave nothing out. I'm trying to think of everything. I don't want to leave nothing unturned.
Well, you can definitely go to my pages and look out for updates. In June, I have another speaking engagement that's going to be live for Facebook. That's with Lisa Thompson. She runs Kidney Stories. And then in August, I will be in Jacksonville with my board member secretary who runs EMAT out of Jacksonville. She has a big convention for the Minority Month that's in Jacksonville. And in Fort Lauderdale, the last Saturday in August, I will be at Tyrone Bryant Library at a book signing event and a health fair educating. So just check out the pages. I'm going to make sure everything's posted. I'm going to add this to the YouTube page along with my weekly kidney shows so everyone can stay in the loop. And I so appreciate you asking about all of these items.
Yes, because I want to know, and I want our listening audience to know, because this is so important to me. And I know if I'm going through it, there's somebody else out there that may be sitting quiet and just dealing with the issue, and you don't have to. You can, there are preventive ways, there is knowledge, there's just tons of information out there to be found out. And I just wanted to reach out to you because you had something that I needed, that I know others needed. So Trish, thank you again. Thank you so much. I'm going to look forward to August. I want to stay connected, help in whatever way that I can. I don't have much, but such that I have, I want to do something, because this is something that is dear. And like I said, with my father, living with one kidney and learning that in my family history, it was history of kidney health, kidney disease and different things. And even with myself. So I just want everybody to stay healthy. I want to get this information out, and whatever I can do.
Is key.
Yes. And whatever I can do to help, it's my honor to have you here. And I just thank you for accepting the invitation. And I definitely look forward to speaking and working with you again.
Amen.
Thank you all so much. I did not intend to keep you over an hour, but it looked like we gained and we kept our viewers. So thank you all so much for staying up. I'm finna go eat some pizza.
Not this late. The carbohydrates.
I haven't eaten yet.
Okay, so
So I'm not gonna eat much, but I'm just gonna have some pizza and something to drink. And it's going to be a night, just a relaxing night. So I just want to thank you all so much. And I want you all to relax as well and enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you for watching Real Love Ministries live. And this was the perfect way to end our April segments. So thank you again, Trish. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Look forward to seeing you soon. Please share.